Hi everyone, welcome back to Cat's Book Corner, where we talk about all things book and bookish. Today I am going to be talking about my book, Top Love Interests. So I have 15 guys and 15 girls because I find both attractive and both really compelling love interests in all types of books. And then I have 8 honorable mentions that I'm going to say. But first, let's go to my TBR. As we know, I've talked about Lightlark, Zodiac Academy, and Killer Instinct already. I finished Prisoner of Azkaban, one of my favorites, as I said before. I'm about 100 pages into Foul Lady Fortune. I'm finding it very interesting, so I am going to continue it this week. Actually, I am enjoying the banter that's happening so far. Okay, so when I talk about the books, I'll put the books up here, and I'll explain a little bit about why I love the love interest, so there might be a little spoiler. I'm going to try and not have them, but there might be some, so here's the warning that there might be some spoilers. Okay, let's start with the honorable mentions. Number 8 on my honorable mentions is Lila Zhang from the Natural series. I find her so interesting. Like, she's so protective over her family, and she'd do anything for them, and it's so heartwarming. And she's like so protective, and she's awesome. She was so good in Killer Instinct. I really liked it. Then number 7. Now, some of them are controversial, and also putting it out there. These are subject to change basically at any time, because I recently got back into reading more popular books that people read, so most of them are like obscure, just a little bit, and some of them are dark, so take a couple of them with a grain of salt. But number 7 is Elliot Eli Cradle or Ever from Vicious. I really like his character, even though he's like, well, you know, not the best guy. I find him so interesting, and he's like doing what he thinks is right, even though it's not technically the right thing. It's also why he's not at the top, because he's an awful person, but I do like his character. So number 6, Elias Venturis from An Ember in the Ashes. He was so willing to do anything to save his friends, and well, even though technically he was willing to hurt one of them for what he thought was the greater good, but he's so protective over like things you wouldn't expect him to be because of who he's supposed to be. He's kind of adorable and like that sort of thing, and like he's nothing like his family. He almost made it onto number like 14 on my list, but I found another one that I really liked. So number 5, this one is from Harry Potter. So I have a couple from Harry Potter that I'm not going to talk about because they're lower on the list, so I just thought I'd mention the top 8 honorable mentions, but there would be a couple more Harry Potters if we went a little lower. But it is Hermione Granger. So smart, so expressive. She's such an awesome character. She was willing to like go do everything to protect her friends, and it's so like interesting. I really like her as a character, and her little romance plot, I really loved it. It's so cute. It's not the main story, but you can tell like over the books how that sprinkles a little bit in. I really like it. Now, I said this last week, but number 4 is Dean Redding from the Natural series, and it's all because of Killer Instinct. If I didn't read Killer Instinct, he wouldn't have been on the list. But I read Killer Instinct, and that book is basically about him and how he's afraid that he's gonna turn out just like his dad, so he says he can't afford to be the one that Cassie picks because he's scared that he's gonna hurt her, and like, and he's just playing into what his dad wants. He's so sweet, and he's like, he's also really adorable because you don't really expect that type of depth from him, because he's like not technically he is a main character, but he's not like the character we're getting our side from. So he has like so much emotional depth that he's willing to do anything to save Cassie, even if it means that he's not going to be the one that she picks. He's just, I never would have thought I would have put him here after reading The Naturals, but Killer Instinct really won me over on him. Then we have Lila of Siena, also from Ember in the Ashes. Her willingness to do anything to protect her family, and to even work in some place that is desperately trying to kill her, basically. And that book is like a love square, because two people have crushes on one person, and then they have crushes for each other. It's very confusing, but I enjoyed it. But like, her willingness to protect and to like save the people that she thinks need to be saved, and even putting her revenge on like a stopper to save her family, it's amazing. And her just willingness to like accept what's happening, and then just to fight and fight and fight, is something that I really, really admire about her. Okay, then we got Victor Vale from Vicious. Now, he's not the best boyfriend, considering he got Eli's girlfriend killed. But he is so caring. Like, when they find, I forget her name, but when they find her like on the street, he like comes to protect her, and like, he's so protective, and he has a mission. He won't stop until he finishes that mission because he knows it's the right thing to do. And he like decides to go alone because he doesn't want anyone else to get hurt. So it's like, it's just gonna be me and Eli, and we're gonna figure it out. And it's just, I love both Eli and Victor, even though they're both they're opposites of each other. I really like both of them. They're so interesting, and it reads like a love story between the two of them, so technically you do get like a little bit of romance. Like, I can't live without that one, so you kind of see a little bit of like his romantic side. And number one on my what's it called, honorable mentions, is Nora Seed from the Midnight Library, because it's basically me, kind of. Self-love. But no, it's just, I know what she is going through, and it's heartbreaking, and like, I want to comfort her, and I want to tell her it's gonna be okay, and it's just like, we both need someone kind of like that. They will tell us it's gonna be okay, or like, we need someone who like knows what we're going through. It's just, she's such an amazing character, and I really, really, really like her. Probably gonna read that book when I go home again. It's one of my favorites. But now let's actually get into my tops. So we're gonna do number 15 straight, like we're gonna do boys and girls number 15 and going up to number 1. So number 15 with the girls is Tori Vega from the Zodiac Academy. She's like, I only read the first one, so I don't know if this will change. I don't know if it'll be Darcy later, or if it'll be Sophia or Geraldine, or any of the other characters might go up the list. But Tori, she is a baddie. She knows what she wants, and she won't take no for an answer, even if that means like having to deal with the heirs. Like, she knows it, and it's so admirable that she just walked into this world and is like, I know what I want, and I'm gonna take it. Really fits into the whole like fae fortune type of thing. So I really, really liked that. And like, I don't know, I didn't expect to like this character as much as I did. I thought Darcy would be more my cup of tea, considering I'm more like Darcy, more the shy type. But Tori, I feel like Tori's who I want to be. So that's probably why she's up here. Okay, number 15 for the guys is Dante Russo from King of Wrath. Now, a lot of people don't like this series, but considering this is my first, well, one of my first contemporary romances that I've ever read, I feel like he'll always be kind of up there. And, like, he didn't want that relationship, like, whatsoever with Vivian. But he was like, I'm just gonna kind of make the best of it. And he falls in love with her, and he's like, touch her and you die. And I'm like, he's so cute. And, like, even at the end when the whole thing comes crashing down, he goes so depressed when she's gone. He's like, oh, my heart is gone. Oh, what am I gonna do? And then he, like, does so many little things. Like, he's like, we don't even have to get back in a relationship. We're just like, I'm gonna visit the coffee shop. You might be there. I know you'll be there because it's your favorite. Like, he knows her favorite, like, everything. And he just wants to be there for her, even after everything. I really liked that. Okay, back to number 14 with the girls. Bryce Quinlan from Crescent City. Also another baddie. Like, her willingness to sacrifice everything for her friends is just, it's so admirable as well. And, like, her relationship with Hunt. Like, Hunt's kind of the shy one, even though he's been around a lot longer than her. It's also because he probably doesn't want to get into a relationship after the last one. But, like, she's just so out there. She knows what she wants, even though some traumatic things have happened to her. And, like, she's actually, I think, one of my favorite female characters. It's probably why she's up so high, but, like, I really enjoyed reading about her. I'm gonna read the next two. I heard not great things about the next two, but I am excited to see where, like, her journey goes, to see if she'll move up or move down. Number 14 with the guys is Ridden from Daughter of the Pirate King, who is the love interest for Alyssa. And he's so protective. Like, when she was in danger at the end. And, like, he's so, like, smart alecky. Like, their little banter with each other. Or, like, him just knowing that she'll be escaping and him just, like, waiting there, be like, so, what we doing? And also, I love pirates. And he's a pirate. He's so much smarter than his brother, so he should be captain, but, like, he's so protective of his brother. He's like, don't kill him. And I'm like, and then he protects her at the end and he gets hurt. I love it. Okay, number 13 for the girls is Pip Fizamoeba from Good Girls Guide to Murder. I really liked her. Like, her willingness to find the truth. Like, to go, like, underneath everything, even when people are telling her to stop. Like, her determination is also, like, so good. And her, like, willingness to, like, talk to people, and it sort of makes you want to talk to her back, kind of. Like, when she's talking to Robbie, it, like, breaks him out of his shell, and, like, they talk, and they become friends. She's awesome. She, like, knows what she wants. She won't stop until she gets it, even if it means that it's someone close to her that she has to deal with. And she's, like, so caring. Like, she's amazing. Okay, now going on to 13 for the guys. Hanson rags Alistair from The Demon King. Now, I wanted to put Micah, but I don't know enough about Micah, so I put Rags, considering he's kind of similar to Micah, except he's the opposite. Like, he's also really protective, and even when he kidnapped Raisa, he was like, I don't want to hurt you, we're just gonna sleep here, is it alright if I go to sleep? Will you be, like, fine? Like, he was, and he's so scared, and he's, like, he loves his family even after what happens, and he blames himself. I cannot wait to see how he grows throughout the series. Like, he's already such a good character and such, you know, a good love interest that I want to know where it goes from here. Okay, number 12. It is from the girls. It's Lila Bard from A Darker Shade of Magic. I love Delilah. She's great. Reckless also, but she knows what she wants. She wants to be a pirate, which I can't fault her because pirates are cool. And she's got a glass eye, and she's like just wants an adventure. So even though she might not survive going with Kel, she's like, I want an adventure, so I'm gonna go with you. And like she, like, literally, like, Kel knew her so well that he was able to figure out the trick at the end, and she basically almost sacrifices herself for him. And like she feels so abandoned. Like literally earlier she's like, he won't come, no one's gonna come for me, and she doesn't want to accept Charity. It's just she's so sad, but like I also like just want to give her a hug and have her be with me. Number 12 for the guys, Michael Townsend from The Naturals. I love him so much. He was literally my favorite character in the first book. He's still my favorite now, but in the first book it's just like, I'll wait, you can give me your choice later. And he's so like, all of his quotes, he's like, I mean, I could, why would I do that? And his like ability to like be able to tell people's emotions is just, it's so funny. He's like, I know what you're feeling. He's amazing. And he's got trauma too. I feel like all of the people I have on this list have trauma, but most books have that too. But I like him as well. His willingness to just like protect Cassie, even if that means she won't choose him. Also the same as Dean. Like him and Dean are quite similar. I just feel like Michael's more outwardly about it, especially with the whole anger thing that happens in the second one, where he's like, I don't like to not expect when it's coming, so if I don't know when it's coming, I'll provoke it, so he knows. It's just, he's so good. Number 11 for the girls, Feyre, Court of Thorns and Roses, also a baddie. Like, she shoots a wolf and then gets basically abducted into the Fey world. She's awesome, and like her willingness to do whatever it takes for love, and like even though she can't read, I still find that so funny. But like her willingness to just sacrifice basically her entire life for the guy that she loves is just amazing. Like even when she's sent back home, she's not happy because she wants to be with that one person. It's amazing. Okay, number 11 with the guys. This one is subject to change because I've only read the one book in the series. So, Sam Cortland, the Assassin's Blade. Now I know what you're thinking because of what happens at the end, but he was so dedicated to her. Like he would have followed her lead no matter what, and then they were gonna live together, and he would have done whatever that guy said if it meant that she wasn't gonna get hurt anymore. And like their admission to their love for each other, and the ending made me like bawl my eyes out. I love Sam Cortland. I don't think I could ever not love Sam Cortland. I feel like he'll always be on the list because of everything, but I'll probably just get lower because I've heard so many other good things about this series. So I'm already tearing up because I love Sam Cortland. He's adorable, and I just can't talk about it. And where was I? Number 10, Evelyn from A Hunt on Dark Waters. Also, she's kind of similar to Lydia from Darker Shade of Magic. She's a witch who escapes her relationship with a vampire who ends up in the in-between. And she tries to escape, but she's also like really adorable with it. She's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I can't do magic. And even as she's escaping, she's like, her inner monologue is just, it's so funny. Like, she's so funny. She's like, well, yeah, it's a psycho vampire. She's my ex. Or when she's talking to the crewmates, and like, she wants to save all of like the innocent like sea creatures that everyone thinks are like causing all the trouble in the in-between, which causes the entire crew that they're with, well, most of them anyway, to question the orders that they're following. Like, she's so like able to outspeak all of those emotions, which is amazing. Okay, number 10 on the guys, pretty much the same. It's Captain Boeing from Hunt in Dark Waters. And he has like a power. He can like, I forget what it's called. He has telekinetic abilities where he's able to like lift things up. He can kind of fly. And when Evelyn comes along, he starts to question everything he's ever been taught. Like, maybe the company that he's working for isn't exactly the good guys. So then he literally runs off with her, even though like that goes against everything he was ever taught, which is really admirable, even though he grew up thinking it wasn't. And like the scene in the safe house, I really like. Or when he comes to find her when she's trying to get through the portal, and he protects her from Lizzie, I think the vampire's name is. So I really like him as well. Number 9 for the girls is Selena Sardarthian from the Assassin's Blade. Also a baddie. She's great. An assassin who like gets stuff done. Like the first chapter, they find out that her like one of her trainers is dead, and she's like, "Are you gonna get him?" And they're like, "Oh, it's too dangerous." She's like, "I'll get him," and she gets him. And like she knows what she wants. She stands on all of her principles. Like she's like, "I don't like slaves. We're gonna free them." So I'm like, "Yes, go." And like she's got like 2 people flirting with her throughout the entire like 5 little books. And then at the end, when what happens to Sam happens, she literally gets so like furied. She like breaks out of like her room and like tries to, and then the ending is so sad, and she's like, "I'm Selena Sardarthian and I will not be afraid," because that's what Sam said. Oh, I really loved their relationship. Number 9 for the guys is Prince Poe, or Greenlee Garandamolian. No one called him that, but I really liked him. I liked him and Costa because he, even though he could read, like when people were thinking about him, he couldn't read minds technically, but he knew that a relationship wasn't going to be for her. So he was like, we'll just be together for now. We don't have to be together forever, but I love you now, so we're gonna work it out now. And it's like, he's like so connected to his family because that was like the culture he came from the I forget what they're called, but like the little islands around. And he's like the 7th prince, so like, and he has his own little castle, and he's so like protective of Casta even after everything. And we find out like the big secret at the end, and he wants to be comforted, and he just allows his mind to branch out and his power grows. It's just, he's so like cute. I really like him. Okay, number 8 for the girls, Reza Anna Mariana from Demon King. She's the princess, but she also knows what she wants. She doesn't want to be a queen who just follows the past queen. She wants to incorporate a lot of tribal stuff that she learned from her dad and like from her time in the tribes. And then she's willing like to fight all of the wizards, even though she's like having kind of a fling with Micah. She knows it'll never go anywhere because she knows the laws. It can't go anywhere. But she also has like an infatuation with Rags, and she wants to help like her country. She wants to be a good queen. But then the entire thing happens and she has to run. Like, she's such like a phenomenally written character where you like feel like everything for her, and then everything happens and it's so disheartening. So I am excited to see where like the rest of it goes. And like her little thing with Amond as well, who like has like a bond with her, and like she's such a good character. I really love her. Okay, then for number 8 for the guys, we have, I love him, Robbie Cressman, the one who got away with murder. I find him so adorable. Like, putting the pads and a note and a heating pad and chocolates outside her door, hoping that she feels better, even though she's lying to him at the time. Or, protecting, like, his brother, and even, like, confronting, like, his dad at the end, or all the other things. I mean, of course, he lied a little in the beginning, not letting her know that he is suspected of murder. But I kind of see why he got away with that. And he volunteers, like, come on. Like, he volunteers, he loved his ex-girlfriend so much. And then he was so, like, broken when she died, even though he was still trying to help his brother. And then the same thing happens to his brother. It's amazing. I think he's so adorable. He's one of my favorite, well, he's closer to the top, on one of my book boyfriends. I actually might move him up. I really, really love him. Okay, number 7 with the girls. Amelia DiCarlo from Kingdom of the Wicked. I really like her because she wants to solve the case of what happened to her twin sister. And then she meets Wrath and like their banter. I love their banter. Who, like, she knows what she wants. She's like, fine, I'll do it. And like the way that she like learns her magic and comes like into herself at the end. And the monk guy, like her little like thing with him is good. I'm excited where she goes from here because she's already a baddie. So I cannot wait to see where she goes from here. Okay. Number 7 with the guys. James Barry from Hooked. It's a dark romance, so grain of salt. His willingness, like, he wants revenge, obviously, against Peter. But, like, he meets Wendy, and at first it's gonna be like, oh, I'm gonna use her for my revenge. But then he actually kind of falls for her, and it's like, of course there's some like controlling stuff in it, and it's not like the best relationship, but it's dark romance, so you can't really expect it to be the best romance. So I liked him. I also like the bad boys, so I feel like as we get higher they get just more morally gray as we go up. So except my number one is like the purest you can get. But I like him. I love the epilogue and like their relationship together. It's adorable. Well, like dark adorable, I guess you could say. It's so funny. I really like it. Okay, now moving on to 6 for the girls. Kazamaya of Brightness, or Kazi from Dance of Thieves. I like her. I love the chain together entire part of the book. It's so funny. Enemies to lovers, so funny. I love it. And like their willingness that like they have to work together to protect each other, and even the lies she had to tell to like get into Jace's good graces. But like she feels like she owes the queen, and like was an ex like street thief who knows what she's doing, and she's such like also a baddie. I feel like all the girls I have on here are baddies. I mean, I think that's my type, kind of. Yeah, definitely all of them are. So she's great. I really like her. I love how like she's the leader of like her little band of Queensguard. I like her. I like how like smart she is. Like she's so smart. Like the plan that they have at the end for their escape, even though it doesn't technically work, it's so smart. And even like holding Jace up with a knife. liked that. Number 6 with the guys, I couldn't really separate them, but Jace Bellinger from Dance of Thieves. As I said, I love the chain together part. I love how like close he is with his family, like his willingness like to do everything for his family. And like even though he suspects Cassie of betraying him, he still like wants to love her, like he wants to be with her. And even though he had to accept this responsibility, he's such a good character as well, and he's like so nice with all his little siblings and like all of his relatives he's so like good with, even if they are trying to kill him or like usurp his power. And even like him talking with the queen at the end, like he's so like passionate about his family and like what they think they deserve, which to be fair, from what I've read, they kind of do. And like his relationship with Kazi, even though like he suspects so much, he's like, but I want to be with her, I kind of love her, even though love is a luxury he didn't think he could afford. I love it. Number 5 with the girls is Ali Cappellini from Lights Out. Also dark romance, but she's not technically the dark one, kind of. I mean, she has dark aspects like her family, but she's like a trauma nurse and she just wants to sit and relax and watch her thirst trap videos, which I mean, girl. But she's awesome. She knows what she wants. She really does know what she wants. And she's like surprisingly okay with what happens. Like the guy breaking into her house, she's like kind of okay with it, even though it kind of freaks her out. But I love her as well. Like she's a trauma nurse. Like she needs a break, even though she doesn't think she can afford herself a break because of her trauma. But she's so good. Okay, number 5 with the guys is Rhysand, Court of Thorns and Roses. He'll probably move up higher because I heard he gets so much better in the second one, which is like everyone's favorite. So I am excited. But like his entire thing, like he saves Feyre, like from the feast type of thing. But like you don't know it's him until like later when he comes in and starts like taunting that he's like, oh, Tamlin, what are you doing? That type of thing. And like taunting Lucian, which I mean not the best, but like technically at this point you're supposed to believe that he's the villain. But then he's protecting Feyre by like having her close to him, even though it grosses Feyre and Tamlin out at the time. And like even at the end when like he offers her that deal and she takes it, they don't even negotiate. Because he knows what he wants. Like, he wants just that certain time. And then that look that they give each other again, that he seems to stumble back, I think I know what it is. So I'm gonna wait until the second one, but I think I know what that was. And, like, his willingness to save her, even though he doesn't, like, think all too well of humans. But I really, really liked that. I'm excited. He's probably gonna go up so much higher. But that's where he is now. Number 4 with the girls is Wen, something like that. I don't really know how to pronounce it, but Wen from Girls of Paper and Fire. Also a baddie who like comes into like this place with the main character. I don't remember the main character's name. Also because I didn't find her as interesting as I found Wen. But she's like, she wants to like kill the king so that they can like live like a normal life and not like as his prize, basically. And like she's like a warrior who's like technically not supposed to exist because they're technically supposed to be extinct, which is amazing. And like her entire like story with the main character and their romance that spirals, I really, really like it. And even at the end, but she's like, I'll help you, like we're in this together. Like she's so like thoughtful and like dedicated and like but like thoughtful to like to a person, not just thoughtful about like thinking about a plan, but like able to be there with a person, which I thought was amazing. Okay, 4 with the guys is Josh Hammond from Lights Out. I love him so much. I find him also really adorable, even though it's a dark romance, so you're not really supposed to find him adorable. But he's a stalker. who breaks into Allie's house. But then he's like, she doesn't have good enough security, so I'm going to give her better security so that no one else can break into her house. And like the little relationship he has with the cat, I really like that, with Fred. I really like that. And like he's got trauma because of his dad, and he doesn't want people knowing about that. And like he's also like so good. I really like him. And just trying to make his voice deeper because he forgot his voice changer, so he's like, I'm Batman. It's so funny. And even at the end when like, I'm not leaving you, and they're like, but you have to, but I'm not leaving you. Like they both understood that, and I was like, it's amazing. Okay, number 3 with the girls. Aloysia Caglin, daughter of the Pirate King. Love her. She's batty, she's great. She knows what she wants. Well, technically she knows what her dad wants, because that's why she's there in the first place. And she has her own crew, and they're basically all girls, and it's awesome. And like she could break out of like so many jail cells, and but like she was willing to like sacrifice everything for Riven at the end, and like reveal like her deepest secret in order to save him, which I thought was like so like her willingness, because she connected to him, like her willingness to like give up anything to save him. But then she gets revenge. I'm like, yes, go get revenge. She's great. I love her. Okay, number 3 with the guys. Now this one is a little controversial, I think. Kaz Breaker from Six of Crows. Now technically, if we were ever in a relationship, if he was ever theoretically real, the relationship wouldn't work because he can't touch people. And that's his whole entire thing. Which is why I love his and Inge's relationship, because it's so good but also so awful because they both have kind of intimacy issues. But he is my favorite, I think, character I've ever read. I love him so much. He's got so much trauma that he needs to unpack. He needs a therapist is what he needs, but I don't think there's any therapists in Catterdam. I think all the crows need a therapist, to be honest, but he most specifically needs a therapist. But he's like 16 and he's running like the entire barrel. I mean, technically he's under someone, but like, Kaz is the leader, basically. It's basically called the Crows Club, and like he runs the crows, so he's in charge. And I love all of his quotes. How do you steal a man's wallet? And they all go like, oh, you steal his watch, sleight of hand. And he knows magicians, and like when you learn about his past when he was such an adorable little kid, you learn about Jordy, and it's just, I love him so much. I mean, he needs a hug, but like he won't let you give him a hug. He so needs a therapist. There needs to be therapists in Catterdam. Okay, number 2 with the girls. Inge Gaffa. I love Inge. She's also one of my favorite characters. Who, like, she was willing to use, like, her skills in order to get out of where she is. And she's the Wraith. She knows, like, exactly what she wants, basically. She wants to kind of just go home to Sully and find her parents. But like she connects with each of the crows in a way that no one else ever could. Like she can get them to talk. Like she's so thoughtful, but you wouldn't expect that because she's an assassin. But it's because she learned from her dad how to be that thoughtful. And like what she expects from a guy, like in romance, she's like, a guy should be able to remember your favorite flower. And like she loves Kaz, but she knows they'll never be able to be together. It's amazingly heartbreaking. And I love her so much. Number 2 for the guys. Cal Marish from Darker Shade of Magic. The way he puts his brother before anything, before his own life, is amazing, like, and admirable. I've never seen something like that. And, like, his own trauma, where he doesn't feel like he's an actual person to the royal family, even though that they say that he is. It's just, he feels it, so it's real to him. And him meeting Lila and their banter, and, like, him being tied up on the bed. I really liked that. And, like, even though him and Holland didn't see eye to eye, He was like, we're still the same. Just all of him is such an amazing character. And he's got the one black eye. I think he's got red hair. I feel like a lot of the characters I like have red hair. I mean, there's a couple blondies. Most of them have dark hair, but a couple of them are red. Like, I think Alosa has red hair. My number one for the girls has red hair. Kel, I think, has red hair. Definitely, Bryce has red hair, right? So many of them have red hair. Never noticed that. But moving on to number one for the girls, Mary Jane Watson Parker. She was willing to do anything for Peter. Literally anything. And even when he basically almost attacked her in, like, this is from Spider-Man The Darkest Hours ambience. Even after he straight up almost attacked her in Down These Mean Streets. No, wait, this is Drown of Thunder. She was still willing to go out and search for him on the streets of New York with Aunt May. And even though she's practicing, like, for her play, like, to have the role of Lady Macbeth, she still, drives her car right through the people who are attacking Peter. Because even though she's not a superhero like him, she still is part of that life. And, like, she looks after all his scars, like, she nurses him back to health when he needs it, and, like, they're just, they're adorable. And I think you can probably all tell what my number one is Peter Parker, is Spider-Man, from Spider-Man The Darkest Hours ambience as well. Like, he's also great. Like, MJ is, like, his number one. She's the one that he'll sacrifice basically anything for. Like, literally in the first book, he was planning on, like, running, which Spider-Man almost never does, but he thought he couldn't beat these guys, so I'm going to take MJ and Aunt May and I'm going to run. But then MJ was able to talk him out of it. But he's amazing. He's also one of my, like, top favorite people. And he's Spider-Man. You can't really get better than that. And he's a science teacher who's, like, tries to look for the best in his students, even though he knows they're probably, like, also not the best people because of the town that they're in and the way that life seems to be going. And he's amazing. I love him so much. So, those are all my book love interests, which are all subject to change, except maybe the top two for, I don't know, maybe top one, maybe, for, the boys and the girls, because I don't think Peter Parker or MJ will ever lose their status as their number one, because they're both they're always going to be up there, for me, at least. They probably won't be up there for anyone else, but for me, they will always be up there. So I hope you enjoyed, and this was, wow, a really long one, but if you liked it, please comment, like, and subscribe, and let me know if you agree or disagree with my opinions down below. I'd love to know what you all think. Bye everyone.